All right, so we always start praying, and I feel like this time would be nice to just start praying together before we start this podcast.
Let's do it. All right, Heavenly Father, in your presence today, Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for everything you do for us, Lord. Lord, I just pray you just be present in this moment with us, Lord, and may glory be brought to your kingdom, Lord. Just use us to be a vessel for you, and may we help others around us and others that are far from us, whether we know them or we don't, Lord. I always pray that your kingdom be glorified. We thank you for everything you do for us, and we look forward to this journey starting back over again, Lord. Thank you so much, Lord. Pray all these things in your name.
Amen. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We are back. This feels so new to us.
I know.
It feels like forever. The last time we sat down to record a podcast, we were still with like our base housing furniture.
Right, we didn't have any of our actual permanent stuff. We were sitting here holding the microphone, and
I can put a little picture of like how we were.
Yeah, on the Cal, I was on the base. Oh my!
It
feels like years ago, but it was.
It was this year.
6 months ago.
In February.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Right now we are in September, and a lot has changed. I can't wait to get into like how you're feeling about Germany, but we're starting to love it so much. We can see how even though it wasn't what we wanted, God is using for the good, and that we're loving it.
100%.
Of course, I feel like that also happened when we start to open our hearts to also,
Yeah, take down the barriers, right? Kind of take down the me, and us, and let him work.
Just understand that we are here for a bigger reason.
100%. And we're finally seeing that, so that's the light shining through.
We're finally seeing that.
But so we're just gonna dive into it, right? If this is your first time here, you haven't really been on the podcast or seen us doing this forum. I'm Kyle, and this is Beatrice, my wife. We've been together for 9.5 years, married for 8 of them. We have 3 children.
Emma
and Bo, 6, 4, and 2. So it's a busy stage right now. But yeah, we're living in Stuttgart, Germany. I'm stationed here with the Navy. I've been in the Navy for 16 years. And yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of us. We would love to have one more, but we're just waiting for the right time.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We feel it.
We started the podcast 2 years ago. It was right after deployment, and that's when like we felt this calling to start the podcast. And I just feel like it was the season to start, but maybe not to pursue the podcast because we had so much going on. He was deploying. It was nice because we had to understand, like for us to set up right now, for him to set up, it was like it was easy because he already knew what to do. Back then we were so lost in how to do things or
figuring it out. It took me, I think, 5 episodes to find, I think, the proper
way
setup. Yeah.
So I'm sure, like, if you go back and watch, you're gonna see the I don't know, not sounding as good. We don't have video for it. It was just like
we're progressing.
We're progressing, but I feel like right now we are in a new season that we finally feel settled. And I feel like it's time for us to start speaking more of like being more bold and not being silent, because I feel like it's just so easy to post what comes easy. Like what's just like it's
the cute things, the simple kind of
the simple. Like maybe just throwing some family things or out there. But I feel like we're here just for a new season to be more bold, because honestly, whenever we get more into it, whenever you guys start to like get to know more of my heart and why I want to do this, I just feel like I just truly want to help not just other military family members, of course older people in general, but I feel like we see a lot of like brokenness in the military world, and we want to do our best to help.
Yeah, I think that we've been put around other families, couples, whatever, and they may not have went the way that you would expect them to, or that those people expected to.
Since the very beginning of our relationship.
It's like there's always something that's popping up in this location where we live, and that location. So this is where we're at. So this episode is going to lay the foundation for the episodes to follow, right? We're going to dive into our upbringing, our childhood, right? Where she came from, where I came from, how our parents were, right? And that's going to kind of set the base for where we're going.
I feel like if you guys understand more about like who we are and how we are, not just our story. We have posted our story here. It was the very first episode, but I feel like if we actually like tell you guys our story, like how everything started, you guys may understand a little bit more about us, because I feel like it's easy to see us like online, like, okay, like it's such a good couple, you know, I even got comments like, oh, I'm jealous of what you guys have, or just like seeing this, but they don't see
The why,
the
right?
why we're like this, because there's definitely a reason why we're like this.
Yeah, I think we're gonna kind of, maybe not on this episode, right? But we're gonna kind of open the onion, they say, right? Kind of get into the details and kind of what's inside, because again, there's value in that. There's a reason why we are the way we are, quote unquote. But it's like, how far back does that go? And we've been talking about, I think God's put on our heart that it goes back to our parents, our childhood. How was I raised? How was she raised? Why are you like this now? Oh, well, it's because of what you've seen growing up. So we're gonna get into that.
Yes. Are you ready?
I am.
Are you guys ready?
All right, good to go. Let's go ahead and dive into our childhood, and I think that you should go first.
Oh my goodness.
Ladies first, right?
Yes. I've been thinking who should start. It's not going to be an easy one, because we're going to start talking about my mom, and she's the strongest woman I know. I have no words to describe what she's to me. I just love her so much, and we got to start with her childhood. So my mom is 1 in 12. Her parents had 12 children. My grandma, an amazing woman. Her dad was a carpenter. How do you say?
Carpenter.
A carpenter, and he was a drunk man.
Alcoholic, or would you say
yeah?
Alcoholic.
He was like an alcoholic, you know, like, so I've heard like plenty of stories that like, not my mom exactly, but like some of like the siblings, the sons, they had to go picking up at the bar because he was too drunk, you know, and then he would get back there and then hit my grandma, and it was just like a really hard like a childhood for her.
For context, real quick, how old were you when your grandpa passed away?
I never met him.
You never met him. Okay,
never
so this is before you. Okay.
Yeah, he passed away I think 1 year before I was born.
Okay, good.
So it's just hard to just, because like what I'm about to say is just like, the person that was supposed to protect my mom the most is the one that took her innocence off when she was a child. And my mom ended up having like a boyfriend young, my dad.
How young? How young?
So she was 14 years old when she started to date my dad, 15 when she got pregnant with me, and 15 when they got married. I was born when she was 16 years old, and she had to go to school when I was still like and I was a baby, like a newborn and all of that. But then like, why? What's the why, right? I feel like her main reason, I feel like she just wanted to escape her house. She wanted to escape, you know, like, I don't know, like it was just like so deep. She would tell me like the stories how her birthdays weren't very celebrated because there were like 12 of them. It was like just a very hard childhood that sometimes like it catch myself like just having nightmares about it. It's just you know, like what she went through as a child, I feel like no children should go through. So she's a very strong woman, and then she had to be even stronger because she was a mom when she was 16 years old. And then she had my brother when she was 20. My mom, my dad, like I feel like they always try to be good together, but it was just hard, right? Because the main reason they got married it was because like she got pregnant, kids, right? And then they had kids and all of that. And then a little bit later, she had to deal with like sickness. 10 years of my childhood, it was seeing her in pain in the hospital.
So how old were you when your mom started to get sick?
I think I was like about 5 years old whenever she started to get sick.
Old enough to remember, obviously. In the
old enough to remember, because think about like I would be going to the hospital now for the next 10 years.
Right.
So, and my mom, she was very sick in a point that she would spend months in a hospital. And I have the smell of the hallways still in my mind. Like sometimes whenever like I'm somewhere and I smell like that smell, I smell, and I remember that smell. It's just like you know, like when you're a child and you remember the smell of like maybe the ice cream truck coming, or just like I don't know, like the grandma baking a cake. The smell that's so strong,
It's nostalgic, right? It just brings you back.
nostalgic. It's of the hospital because that's where I spent a lot of time of my childhood. How I mentioned, like I never got to meet her dad. So who helped her raise me a lot was like my grandma, her mom, which she's amazing. You know, like
Still going strong
she
to this
is
day.
amazing.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's amazing, and of course, I have amazing grandparents on my dad's side. They are the Italian ones. They are amazing. I feel like they are the main role. No,
They're our main role models
they're main,
for
like,
marriage.
yeah, my grandparents in my dad's side, they're main role models for marriage. They've been together for 49 years, and they were here this year. But I'm sorry, I just got a little bit off track. But so my mom was very sick during pretty much my whole childhood. I would like catch her, like she had fainted in the kitchen cooking. She had fainted in the shower while she was like taking a shower. Had one time that we were going up the stairs where we used to live, and then like she fainted on top of me and my cousin. I think I was like 8 years old. So we had to carry, like feel like the weight of like her body on us. It was just I don't know, like I have like so many memories that was just
Well, at that age, right, you have no idea like what that is. It she fainted, something worse happened, you know, is she gonna be okay? You don't
and
know.
then always like seeing her in the bed full of pain until the ambulance comes and just takes her. I've seen that multiple times, like her body just like full,
Yeah, convulsing, you said?
or no, like I don't remember exactly how it was, but just like full of pain, like
Tense,
she's
yeah.
tense, like she was in pain, like and then like we had to call the ambulance to take her. She tried to start college. She couldn't finish because she'd faint and have to go to the hospital in the middle of like
Class
and all of that. So you can see the like how it was like everything that she went through as a kid, being a mom young, and then now having like this true disease that have no cure. And then I'm not here to place any blame because I love my dad so much. Now of course there's also no excuse for that, and that's one of the main reasons that we are the way we are. But my dad had an affair with a coworker, and that just like broke our family. He just broke our family.
How old were you when this happened?
I have a feeling that he wasn't one, but they got divorced when I was 11 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was 11 years old, and then like that time when she found out, like a lot of fight, you know, like I remember a lot of their fights. So like honestly, my memories as a child, it was like either a hospital or my parents fighting up to the time they got divorced when I was 11. So like her life was like full of like trials, and just being there as a daughter, I feel like I always had to like helping very young.
Yeah.
You know, like help with my brother, or just like being there for her.
So if we do that, just again back to context numbers, right? So she was 16 when she had you.
Yeah.
She shortly thereafter started getting sick and going through that, right? During the time where she was sick, they got divorced.
During the time that she was sick, they got divorced.
So
yes.
Right at the time you're 11, which she's just a few years from coming out of her, you know, getting healed, getting cured, which we'll talk about in a second. But so just like again, just to kind of wrap that all up real quick in a ball, like starts getting sick with two diseases are very difficult on a person, right? Experiences, you know, obviously another trial at the same time.
We can talk about what she had. She had a multiple sclerosis that has no cure, and Crohn's disease that both have no cure.
And are very rough.
No cure. 10 years battling both of them. And now, for the glory of God, she has nothing. Nothing. She's a complete healthy woman. Complete health woman. I was a teenager when that happened. So my mom, she didn't grow up as a Christian. So quick story. I became a Christian before my mom did. I don't even know if you truly know that story.
I heard that, but I didn't know the details of it. Yeah.
Since my mom was always sick and I was always with grandparents or like my aunts, uncles, even cousin. My mom has a cousin that she's exactly her age because since she has like 12 siblings, that means like some of her siblings are like a lot older than her,
Right.
like even like 20 years older than her.
Because she's real quick, she's the second youngest.
Yeah, my mom's the second youngest. So her oldest sister, she has like 2 daughters, and I would stay at their house all the time. You know, my mom was just like, she just couldn't take care of us like a normal mom would be able to take care of because she wasn't healthy. So I would stay a lot in other people's houses. And my cousin, she was always a very strong believer, a very strong Christian. And every time I was at her house, I remember being like 4 years old and she'd tell me stories. I was 4 years old and she would take me to church. And then we would go to church like all the time together. I would pray for my mom. So like I became a Christian before my mom did.
And when you say all the time, I mean like in Brazil, they'll go to church like 3 days a week, 4 or 5. Like
they have church.
They just have church all week.
The church I grew up going, they have service. It's because like it's like a different styles for service,
Right.
you know, like that. Of course, on Sundays the family service, you know, but they have like different meanings for the services. But the one I grew up going, they had it on Thursday, on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah, so that's how it was. And then I used to go to church multiple times a week, pray for like being so little and praying for my family and all of that. Up to the time that like I feel like one time maybe we can get my mom here and she can truly tell you guys how was her encounter with Jesus. So I did come to have an encounter with Christ even before my mom. But then whenever she did, I feel like it was right after my mom and my dad got divorced. I feel like she felt like she had hit like rock bottom. Still dealing with her sickness, and now as a single mom. And when I tell you that when my mom had this encounter with God, it's just like I feel like she became almost like unstoppable. Like she is a person that like I'm so proud to call at my mom. Like she would tell you about the Bible, her journey with Christ. Like she is the example that like even if you're giving evil, you can turn into goodness and something good. Because I've told you guys like a little bit of her life, a little bit of her childhood, because like it was like a lot more deep, a lot worse than what I could describe. And now she is this woman of the Lord that she's just like not ashamed or shy to tell about the word.
Not at all.
Because she knows what she went through. She knows. So she had this encounter with God after she got divorced. She was a single mom for about a year. And then that's when she met my stepdad. They have been together for a long time now. Probably like around 15 years, maybe a little bit more. They have been together for a long time. She is a true miracle. And now I can tell you for certain that she doesn't have anything. She is a miracle. Just like showing a little bit like about you. How would you describe my mom? Because you know her very well.
I do. She's I've now known her for 9. I met her like very, very early in our relationship. So about 9 years now.
Through FaceTime in the beginning.
Through FaceTime, right? But I mean, even when I through FaceTime, through at a distance, before I actually met her in person, like the woman loved me like so much. And she how do you show love through FaceTime for your future son-in-law that you don't know is going to be your future son-in-law? And right, but she would like help Bia to help me, you know, like small things like teaching Bia how to cook certain things through FaceTime. Like again, you're like, what? Like, but it's a big deal to me because it was like this woman cared enough about me to help her, you know, provide for me, right?
When I met him, I was like, she said like, this is gonna be your husband, and I was like, you're crazy. I was like 19 years old. I was like, you're crazy. No,
she's crazy and correct.
Yeah, I was she's truly a woman of the Lord. It's just like
So like when I met her in person, right? It felt like we'd known each other for a while. She loved me so much, and I'd barely been with you for less than a year at that time.
Yeah.
Right, and she she didn't speak English, I didn't speak Portuguese, so we couldn't really communicate well, but like we were always together, we were always working through, talking about something, and she just was so happy all the time. And again, at this time I knew a little bit about her story, a little bit about her testimony, but her strength and her perseverance, just with anything and everything to this day, is truly remarkable.
When then after that we got married and all of that, when we had Emma, she dropped everything for 6 months to go live with us, to help us. Emma was born with hydronephrosis, you know, like little kidney issue. She dropped everything, like literally, like she quit her job to be with us for 6 months.
Well, real quick with that, she came for I think a month or two first.
Yeah, a month or two.
Then we extended it to like almost 4 months, 3 months. It was like we'd extended her ticket twice to get her to 6 months, was the max time she could stay in America.
And then she stayed with us for 6 months. Like it was just
it was awesome. I remember back then. Just quick side note, like people in my work and stuff were like, you know, she's still here. I'd say something about my mother-in-law, like she's still here, you know. They're looking at me like, are you okay, bro? Like your mother-in-law is still with you, you know. I'm like, oh, I love her. Like people again, I don't know if it's States or other countries, but like the mother-in-law, oh no, right? But for me, it's like the mother-in-law, oh yeah, like okay, like, she's awesome. It's great.
She's amazing. But now, getting to her right now, she's healed. She is like a missionary. She goes and then she preaches the word of the Lord, whatever she's at, whatever she goes. She has an amazing job. I feel like whenever she got pregnant young, people judged her a lot and probably like doubted her. She never finished college. Most of her life she lived in the back of my grandma's house because she couldn't afford my mom, my dad, they couldn't afford like their own home, and also because she was so sick, you know, so we needed to have help from people. So her whole life, like not her life, like but most of her life during that time, like she needed to like have a help from people. And now like she has her own apartment, my stepdad. She has an amazing job in Brazil. That she has her own office, you know, like she's like, I'm gonna put some pictures right here so you guys can understand like what she does and how she is. But I feel like there's just like no words to just even describe the amazing woman that she is, and the testimony that she has is just so powerful. And maybe one day we can try and get her here and she can tell you guys with her own words. Because it's her story.
It is, and when she tells it, it is 1,000 times better.
There's not one person that's not like crying, because it's just such a strong testimony that now now God's using for good. All right, now it's gonna be Kyle's turn to talk a little bit about his mom and how was his upbringing and his childhood.
Well, mine is quite different than Bia's, right? But that's fine. So grew up in Ohio. I was an only child, key piece. My parents were never married, so they were together obviously to have me at the time and stuff. It wasn't like a one-off thing, but they were together. My mom got pregnant with me. I think after that they broke up when I was 2. It wasn't long, so I was very young, right, when my mom and dad kind of split officially. There was a little more to it than that, right? It wasn't the cleanest breakup per se, but nonetheless, my mom from that point on was a single mom. Again, it was just me, but she
Your
always,
whole life.
Yeah, my whole life. I was the only child, but she always used to tell me that there's a reason why she only had one, because I was a lot of work, right? Which is fine, because now I've got 3 kids that are a lot of work, and I get it. She was a single mother. She worked a lot. I just remember being younger at the babysitter all the time. Then when I went to school, I'd get done with school, go to the babysitter, and she'd probably come get me. I mean, when people would get off work, typically around 5 or 6, right? So my time with her through the week was minimal. But even once I got to an age where I was playing sports and stuff, like she would put me in whatever I wanted to be in, do whatever she could to kind of like
An amazing mom.
push me. Yeah, she really did. Like I grew up playing hockey, so that poor woman. Once I got older, she'd tell me stories about like, maxing out credit cards or doing this stuff to like just have me here, have me there, travel hockey, this, all the new equipment, right? But she put her best foot forward for me.
And how about your dad?
So my dad, throughout all this, right, he was present. I think, I don't know. I remember when I was younger, I don't remember too much, right? But I know the one main memory I have of him kind of like showing up more, per se, was when I started playing baseball. So I played hockey all the time, but he always wanted me to play baseball. So I started playing baseball. I enjoyed it, I think, when I was younger. But by the time I got to middle school, I was all done with baseball, right? So he would come around for that a lot more than, normal times, right? He wasn't really a big fan of hockey, so he wasn't there for many of my hockey games or practices or anything. But he was, kind of
Was he present in your life? How was your relationship with him and your mom?
the term that came to my head was wishy-washy, right? But he was like kind of here, then he wasn't. I know he moved away when not too far away, but he kind of left where my mom and I were for a little bit. But yeah, he was present when he wanted to be, but maybe not present when I needed him to be, right? So I grew up always with my mom, and I know my dad would be around, but it wasn't one of those things that was consistent.
I remember like your mom telling stories how like you'd be waiting for him for birthdays and then just like he wouldn't show up.
And then I know that I think she told you too, like he would make a plan, not follow through on it kind of thing, and after a while, I remember I think that kind of just draws you away from someone.
I think like from her side, what I took is just like as being like a single mom, always trying to make sure he was present, but then he was, I don't know, like he was not really, it's probably hard on her too, having to maybe give you excuses or like
Well, actually, yeah, the expectations,
expectation, of like, oh, dad's coming, but then like he's not, like
Right.
she told me like it's so hard, to keep telling you, like, your dad's actually not gonna come anymore, like over for the birthday.
Yeah, so I mean, my dad, he'd be there when when he'd be there, but one key piece to kind of my mom and I's relationship was again, she was always there, and then when I got older, I started to think that I knew everything and stuff. And when I was 17 years old, I moved out. I remember getting my stuff and going to a friend's house. And I went to another friend's house, and I think I was out of the house until I joined the Navy. So like my whole senior year, I was not living at home.
What would you have done if you hadn't joined the Navy?
Well, so I think this again, God uses things. I didn't know Jesus back then. I didn't know anything about faith or anything in the Bible, right? But back then, I could look at that as like a dumb decision, or people ask like, why would you do that? B used to say like, that must have been so hard on your mom and all that, which it was. And I was selfish, right? That's how I kind of viewed it. And I still do, but God took that and used it, okay? Because the lady I was living with, right, my friend's mom, she was a single mom as well. She had 3 children already. And this woman she's a woman of God too, which back then, again, I didn't really know it. It didn't make sense to me, but she took me in.
She gave you options.
And she gave me options. She gave me strict guidelines on how life was going to work.
Oh my
Because up to this point, like my junior year, I remember I was like absent or tardy or whatever, like almost to the point where it wasn't going to count. And so my senior year, I think I missed school like twice. Twice.
Wow.
And I doubt I was late. So she laid. I remember the first day, this when I was staying with my buddy, and I woke up one day. I stayed up late or something, and I was like, I don't feel good. I'm not going to go to school. She came in, put her hand on my head, and she said, "You're fine. You're going to school." Right. So, anyways, this amazing woman kind of guided me back to where I was, and she was one of the first people that said, "What are you going to do with your life? Like, you're about to graduate. What are you going to do?" And this was one of the first kind of like Navy cards that got pulled in front of me, or military. And so that's kind of my kind of separation, or my kind of moving out led me to join the military. So with all that being said, right, my mom and I kind of had a tough time towards the end of my teenage years, right, when I became an adult, became 18. But now, where we are now is significantly different from where we were then.
His mom, she comes to visit us every 3 months, at least when we were in Virginia, when we were in Ohio.
Chicago, Illinois.
Illinois, sorry. Illinois.
They live in Ohio.
They live in Ohio. Your dad?
So yeah, my mom. So real quick, my mom and I, when I joined the Navy. So before BIA, right, all the time before BIA, we didn't really see each other much at all. I was living in Japan. I probably came home like twice. I'd visit her, obviously visit my dad too, and see him, say hi. But as to your point, right, when we got together, you were a big push for me to kind of be more involved in my mom's life and vice versa, right? Bring her involved in our life. And you pushed me further than anyone ever has to get back with my dad, right? I think somewhere inside of me, I kind of had some negative feelings towards him just because, like, I remembered what it was like.
Can I just point something real quick? I'm not sure, like you said, like, I feel like all these emotions you had when you were a teenager and all of that, and also when we met, and I feel like maybe it was like some kind of like maybe like built up, not anger, but like something maybe because you grew up maybe without your dad, you know, like because you didn't have that role.
I have a father figure. Right?
Because I remember it was hard in the beginning, you know, like I felt like I had to push like. So
I was
like,
resistant,
yeah, if it's something like it's happening with you or with your spouse or your boyfriend, it's worth it. It's worth it. You know, like I remember pushing him a lot. It was not easy, but I feel like we both can say that we're so grateful now.
100%.
They have a really good relationship.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it's never too late, right? And again, I don't want to seem like we're bashing parents.
No, of course,
not at all. We're providing context for where we are now.
They were doing life for the first time too. You know, the same way, you know, like I feel like we look at our parents, grandparents, like, okay, like they must be wiser, which I'm sure they are, you know, but they are also doing life for the first time too, you know. So it's just I feel like I learned that along the years, they're also learning too and probably doing the best they thought in their own lives, even though like it's something where we're gonna enter. It's like where we learned that we never wanna.
Yeah, we saw what they were doing or how they did it. Obviously, we grew up as their children, right? But now where we are today is, I think, because of how we grew up, right? Which applies to all of us, right? In different flavors, different aspects, right? But now, mom, dad, our relationship's amazing. They're involved in our kids' lives, which is kind of one of the big motivations we had.
And just one more thing. I'm sorry. I feel like I pushed a lot too because even though my mom, my dad, they were divorced, because I feel like I did not talk a lot about my dad. But he is an amazing dad. I feel like after they did get divorced, I feel like he became way more present in our life. And he's actually the one that encouraged me to move overseas, to move abroad from Brazil to Ireland. That's where I went first. So like my dad and I, we were like best friends. He would pick me up from school every single day. We would just talk. Like my dad, like he used to live at 10 minutes from me. So even though they were divorced, I feel like whenever they got divorced is when like probably like we got closer because he knew that like he didn't have as much time with me like he had before. So my dad and I were really close. So like seeing Kyle like this, I feel like I always wished that for you. And I feel like that's what I felt like, of course, like from the Lord, but also like I just really wanted to have that, you know,
from your
like,
personal experience.
Yeah.
And now we talk more than we ever have. I think through childhood, through early 20s, right?
He's come to visit us.
Yeah, he has.
In Virginia, one time.
Yeah. But I mean, he's working on getting a passport to maybe come over here.
That would be amazing. If you're watching this, we love you so much.
Yeah, I love you, Dad. The time we're trying to get him over here is next year when I graduate from
MBA.
Yeah, with my MBA from the University of Maryland. So we'll see. But yeah, it's kind of where we are now, right? Like kind of a little bit about our past and where we are presently, right?
Now, how do we combine all of this to explain who we are, why we do things like this?
So just because it's most recent, right? I didn't have a present father figure at a young age, right? And I think that there's clearly a lot of value in that for daughters and for sons. I read a lot of books on fathers and daughters, and obviously because I have a daughter, right? Yeah. And obviously being a son, I kind of knew how to, from my life experiences, kind of why I think that's important to be a present father in a son's life as well. And so that's why I'm here, right? I'm present. The Navy sometimes makes me not present because they send me away.
But even when he's deployed, he is as present as he can possibly can. You know, like making videos before, calling every single day. Like whenever he was the ship, and of course sometimes they do not have connection, but most of the time he did, and he would be like sitting on the ground talking with us until like late.
Very uncomfortable
Yeah,
ground.
very uncomfortable. But like his a priority has always been our family.
And yeah, I mean that's and then I guess for the marriage aspect, us aspect of it, I think that when I became a Christian, when I started to follow Jesus,
Yeah.
inevitably that aligned everything that I do to glorify the kingdom of God. Because if I'm a bad this or a not that, or I run off again or something, right? As in when I was a kid, I ran off. Like, I pull chalks, as we say in the Navy, and leave. What does that do for his kingdom, right? Nothing positive, right? So I think now it's like, why am I the way? Why do I father the way I father? Why do I husband the way I husband? It's just to bring glory to God and not be the statistic that is growing.
It's growing
in the States, in the military, probably in other countries, right?
And unfortunately, we do get to see them. So like just combining all of that, a little more of like our story. So like he's like being, I feel like trying to have our kids to have a childhood that we didn't have it. Being a present dad that unfortunately like he did not have it. And also like for me, you know, like try to just like protect our marriage as much as we can. You know, like we have talked before, but we're gonna open that a lot more for the next episode. Like not opening doors, like having rules, you know, like, and I feel like it's completely healthy to just have them, you know, like, because you're just protecting one of the most important things that God has given to you. It doesn't matter who's around you, what you're hearing. The most important thing is, of course, like your relationship with the Lord, your spouse, and then your kids, your family, you know, like, so it's just that's why, like,
in that order, specifically.
Yeah.
Our kids don't come before each other, and we don't come before him, and everything falls into place.
And we truly just feel this calling to just be a voice for maybe, I feel like certain things we do just feel so normal to us that it may not be normal to other people.
Some of the things we do are not normal to other people, and again, we'll unravel that more next time. But it's that's kind of a quick synopsis.
We're not here to be normal, you know, and we see the normal sometimes gets into statistics. So I would rather be a little bit more extra and maybe teach you guys that, or just like guide you guys like that too. And of course, like we're not gonna try and like not like make you guys be the way we are, but just like show you guys, you know, like the way we do things, and if it's something that it's useful, maybe you guys could apply or help. You know?
And maybe this doesn't, the things we'll talk about in the episodes to come don't apply exactly to you, but maybe you have a sailor, a soldier, an airman, a friend, right? That's, you know, hey, I've got this, you know, I just don't understand why blah, 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 or this and that's happening. And then something just simple like, you know, we'll talk about it more, but it's like, would you go out to a bar, to a club or whatever when you're back home, vice when you're deployed, right? Or, you know, would you make this decision when you're around your family? Probably not. So why are you doing it when you're thousands of miles away on deployment, on a work trip, whatever it may be?
Which makes it even harder because like you're just not as much as the same person. You're right there because the mindset could shift so much if you're not protecting your mind.
So to kind of sum up the foundation that we laid, right? We talked about your story, about my story, about kind of why we are who we are and how we operate, and we're gonna dive more into that later. But I just before we got off here today, I just wanted to thank you for your strength and your courage and sharing your story as well, and just the love and care that you provide to me and to our family, because I know I wouldn't be who I am today without you. And
yes, God.
It was, but he used you.
Yeah.
So you get some kudos too. But I'm just I'm grateful to know that you're by my side and we can always be there. So keep doing what we're doing, okay?
All right, let's wrap this up. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked it. Please let us know, because I feel like your guys' feedback just means so much for like how we should do things. We're like two human beings married that we are learning to, along the way. So we have a lot of growth to.
We're here for it though.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go in the direction that God has for us, and again, maybe He's using you to kind of give us a little
to
feedback.
Help us, of course.
100%.
Sometimes like some feedback just like it literally means so much, because like sometimes with this kind of job, like without the feedback, you don't really know like how you're doing and all of that. But we're excited. We're talking about maybe posting one episode a week in the beginning, to really dive through like us and marriage and everything.
Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
I hope you have a blessed day and a blessed week.